Hello there everyone, I am CorporateNapps and welcome back to my channel. So I am here for the review of the wax paint that I did in the previous video. As you guys know, I put on the hair paint wax, and here is a picture of the hair paint wax. And I did it in the color bronze. It is not in my hair at the moment. I wanted to wear the hair wax for at least a few days so that I could get an idea of how it affected my hair, good, bad, or indifferent, and be able to give you guys a thorough review. So what I'm gonna do in this video is cover the pros and the cons. And I'm just gonna jump right in so that this video does not have to be very long. Starting with the pros. What I will say is that this product is very much so full coverage. So for those of you who want to do your bolder colors, what I call the crayon colors, like the oranges and the blues and the yellows and the reds, you will definitely get a full coverage with this hair paint wax. I chose the color bronze, and so it may have looked subtle to you guys on camera. It very much so made a big difference for me to have my hair bronze. And I'll insert pictures so that you'll see what the difference was. The second thing that I will say about the product that is a pro is that it is water-based. That's always a plus, because when we're dealing with products and we're putting things in our hair, we always want the first ingredient to be water, because we don't want to deal with sort of the dryness and things that the other chemicals, if there are other chemicals in the product, will do to our hair. There are other chemicals in the product, and that's no different than if you were going with a permanent or semi-permanent color in your hair. You're going to have to deal with chemicals. The third item that I will say that is a pro is that this stuff does wash out right away. My wash session was a little bit longer, but that's because I was very thorough in ensuring that everything ran out of my hair. So I washed my hair until it rinsed out completely clear. I wash my hair in the shower. For those of you who may wash your hair in the sink, I'm not sure if that will really work with this, especially if you have some length. So, you know, normally as natural ladies, when we shampoo our hair, we don't necessarily concentrate the shampoo on the length of our hair. We mostly put that on our scalp. The shampoo mostly goes on our scalp, and we use the conditioner for the length of our hair in order to prevent dryness. Because I had a product covering my hair that was color related, I made sure that I had the shampoo covering my hair from root to end. And it did take a number of times for me to do that, for it to clearly wash out, but I was okay with that. That's something that I assumed was going to take a bit more than a normal wash, because again, I'm concentrating on getting it out and squeezing as I go through it with the shampoo to make sure that it's actually all coming out. But it really does come out rather easily, and I did not have any product left. I think there was someone who asked a question about whether or not all of the product came out of my hair, and it absolutely did for me. Now, I can't tell you about other colors or other brands, so keep that in mind as well. The fourth item that I will say is that it did not affect my skin negatively. So most of you know that I wear my hair down a lot. If you've been watching my channel, I wear my hair down a lot, and so my hair is on my face a lot. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to find out about this product, as to whether or not I would be breaking out. And let me just preface this by saying I am not prone to breakout, so it may be different if you are more prone to breakouts. But for me, no breakouts at all, and I did wear my hair down really every day. And also, I did keep the product in about 5 days total, which is about normal for me between washes. I wash every 5 to 7 days. I'm a once a week washer, and so that's about as long as I was gonna have anything in my hair, quite frankly. Number 5 in the pros is that it did not dry my hair out. I did not see anything, or have not seen so far, any negative results in terms of dryness to my hair, which is of course a pro. Now, after my wash, I did absolutely thoroughly add leave-in conditioner and my moisturizing concoction, so I have not seen anything at this point to where it's causing any additional dryness. The 6th item in the pros, it would be, I didn't have stiffness. I was under the impression that I would have a lot of stiffness in my hair because there was a product that's sitting on top of it. It wasn't really stiff. I didn't do curls like I really wanted to. I did a twist out, but my hair was just as fluffy as it normally is with twist outs. But I did not have any stiffness in my hair with the product on it. Number 7 is no smells, or no harsh smell. It smelled, I would probably say, like any other hair product. You know, when you're dealing with something with color, you assume that there is something there that may have a chemical effect that's going to give you a pungent smell, and that just wasn't the case with this. It smelled like any other hair product, nothing negative at all. So those are the pros. Now on to the cons. Just like with anything else, even when you're dealing with semi-permanent or permanent color, you are going to have negative effects in many cases. For most people, you're going to have some negative effects. And so as such, this product did have some effects that I would say are cons. So the biggest one for me is that it stains your clothes and hands. Keep in mind, that's sort of the balance that you have to deal with. You're talking about a product that sits on top of your hair, that is not penetrating your strands like a permanent color, and in some cases a semi-permanent color. It sits on top of your hair, and with that, if it sits on top of your hair, well, it's going to rub off on things. So I was very cognizant about the colors that I wore. I wore dark items. I wore items that were in maybe, you know, the brown family, the blacks, but nothing that was sort of a muted color or neutral color, in the sense that if it rubbed off, you would be able to see it. Like I could see it on my black, but nobody else could because I was looking for it, right? And the other thing is, of course, with your hands. If you touch your hair, you will have to go and wash your hands. If not, you're going to be putting prints everywhere on surfaces or walls or whatever you may be touching. That is probably the biggest con for me, just because, you know, in the course of a day, I may have my hair down, but I put it up in a ponytail or a high bun often. And so whenever I would do that, I would instinctively go ahead, put it up, and then I'm like, oh my God, okay, let me go wash my hands, because I would see it and feel it, and I would just need to go and rinse that off. So that's the trade-off. That for me is definitely a con. Now, number 2, so it's a pro, right, in the fact that it washes out all in one rinse, but it's also a con. It's like, you know, you can't please everybody. And the con side, or the negative side of that, is you only can enjoy it for that one time period. Once you wash it, it's all gone. It's not like a semi-permanent or what we call a rinse. You know, it once you wash your hair, that's it. It's done. It's out. So you can't really enjoy it long term if you're someone like me who washes your hair regularly, like every 5 to 7 days, as I mentioned. For those of you who may go a bit longer, you'll have a longer period of time to enjoy it. But for someone like me, if I tried to keep the color, I'd have to put it back in after every single wash. So it's a con/pro. And the third con, it's about how the hair feels. So no, it did not give me stiffness. It did not feel like there was anything weighing my hair down, but you could definitely tell that something was on the hair. It wasn't like my natural texture of feeling my locks. There was something a bit, I won't say greasy, but had sort of almost a bit of slippage on it, if that makes any sense. But not in a way where it's like you just couldn't stand it. You know, for me, I tried really hard to keep my hands out of my head, so it wasn't as big of a deal. But like when it was time to put my hair up in a ponytail or in a bun, or I, you know, prepared to put it up at night, I could feel something. And of course, that has to do with the fact that it's coming off on your hands. So it's a product that's sitting on top of your hair. The next con, which is number 4, is I didn't realize this now until probably the last day or two, which had me really paranoid after the fact. So I didn't realize that when I was putting my hair up or doing a lot of shaking of my head, so to speak, whether I was preparing for bed or what have you, there are like little grains that fall out of your hair. Next to it, staining clothing, that's probably the second biggest con for me. So I looked down at my counter and I realized that there were these sort of, I would probably say little grains that were maybe the consistency of sugar, but it was the color of the rinse. And I was like, now my hair ain't dirty. What's going on? I just washed it a few days ago. And so I realized that it's actually residue. It's the actual wax. And had I realized that maybe on day 1 or 2 of having it, I probably would have been like, I'm not going to keep this a whole 5-6 days because there's something about the idea of if I touch my hair, grains are falling everywhere. But I guess that's also a part of the color stain that I was mentioning. Those grains, to a certain degree, are a part of that stain that's coming off on things. So that was a downside, over my white sink, having to wipe things down. That is number 4. So that's my listing of pros and cons. What I will say about this product is it is great for, I think, if you want a change that is a quick temporary change with no commitment. That's the important part for me. It did what I wanted it to do. I think it's good for going on vacation, with the caveat that if you are a water person, you will go on vacation with one color and leave with your natural color. Because if you get in the pool or if you get in the beach, and if you get in the pool, you're going to have to run them folks their money for that color being in the water. But if you are a water person, you will not keep the color in your hair if you get in the water on vacation. But I look at it as like a vacation type of thing, especially, again, those of you who want to do the bold colors, or like if you, again, just want a swift change for an event or you're going somewhere. Now, I will again say that when it's time to wash, you want to wash thoroughly to get it all out of your hair. Also, the one thing that I didn't mention is it did stain the bottom of my shower. That wasn't a big deal to me because, it's a color. If it was getting off on my clothing, it was probably going to stain my shower. And so I just cleaned the shower afterwards. And when I say the shower, I mean the floor of the shower. You could see it there. Now, the big question, would I do it again? Absolutely. I don't even have to think about it. I would absolutely do it again, even with the cons, because again, I like the idea of being able to make that quick change. I even think about the fact that, like for Halloween, or if there's some type of costume situation where I need a quick change of color for my hair, I would absolutely do this. And even in terms of the bronze again, and tell you how committed I am to doing it again. For those of you who saw the first video, you know that I've always wanted sort of a light brown color to my hair, not a gold or anything, but something that's sort of a brown that sort of blends with my complexion, sort of a light, dark brown caramel type of situation with the color. I actually purchased a gold and have mixed it with the bronze in order to come up with what I consider to be the perfect color. And so I'm actually going to give that a try as well. Not right now, but it's something that will be the next thing that I want to try. So that is my review of the product. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, in fact, like this type of content, thumbs up this video, leave me a comment, and if you haven't already subscribed, do so. And when you subscribe, be sure to hit that little bell so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. For those of you who want a closer view of my locks, be sure to join me on my CorporateNapps Instagram page, and you will see above in the banner and below in the description box on how to follow me on Instagram. I hope that everyone is doing well. I hope that you guys are being safe, and take care.